Hello and welcome to Psychic A1R Radio and Moonstruck TV. And as always, I'm Rayleen Kable, your host today for Soul Talk. I have some amazing things to share. I have a wonderful guest who's coming on, and I did promise I would bring some guests on. So guess what? Ramsey Shelley is our first guest today, and he's also known as Tarot Daddy. So some of you out there already know this wonderful man. So I'm going to welcome you on. Hi, Ramsey. How are you today, my dear?
Good. How are you? Pleasure to meet you.
Fantastic. And thank you very much for coming on the show today. I really wanted to bring you on so people could get to know a little bit about you, get to know about your wonderful talents, and hopefully at some point throughout the show we can get a little bit of a message, a spiritual message for the audience and see what comes up. So do you want to give us a little rundown of who you are, what you do, how long you've been doing it, and why you do it maybe?
Okay. So you're already introduced me. Yes, my name is Ramsey. I go by the name of Tarot Daddy on social media. I was lucky enough to recently be picked up by Psychic TV Australia, and I was at the most recent Mind Body Spirit Festival in Brisbane, which is in Queensland. I have been aware of my, we'll call it intuitive gift. I've been aware of it since I was a child. I knew in a roundabout way what I was about, what it was. I knew that it was something. And then when I was about 10 or 11 years old, I kind of had a much better understanding that I could see things. But given that time period, because I'm 40, and given that time period when I was growing up, it would have been definitely seen as quite weird or unusual, which I'm sure you would appreciate. So I really wanted nothing to do with it, and I grew up with a man who was ex-military, very very stern, very rigid, who was actually gifted himself but would never admit it, and I'm certain of it. So I kind of kept distance. I didn't want anything to do with it. I was like, no, I'm fine. Then, you go through a life of different types of suffering, and you have a moment of whether it be an emotional trauma, a physical trauma, or both. And my father passed away. And shortly after that is when it all happened. It's when it all changed. It's when I got the universe gave me a kick in the backside and said, you got a job to do, wake up. So I stepped forward into it. Yeah. So, 40 years of knowing, 2 years of being publicly out there. So,
wow. I think that's the most important thing, when we have this, knowing and we own it, as I would say, we own it, we then into a beautiful new way of being able to help people. Like everyone helps people all the time in their as a parent, as an aunt, uncle, whatever it be. But, spiritually to be able to do that, to be able to go, okay, I'm now going to honour what I've known all my life and help people. That's amazing. I think patience, firstly for stepping out and going, I'm going to own it. And I've watched you work. We've worked together, and and I do love your work. I love your honesty, and I think that's one of the reasons why you shine so well. And you don't basically you don't make anything up. It's like what it is what you, how you say it.
Exactly.
For people who come to you for a session or even, watch you on social media and so forth, I think that's a beautiful way for them to get to know you, Ramsey, great parents. I was just simply, I should have been smart and clever enough when I was starting out my career to maybe, pick a little different name, but I don't think I could do that because that's who I am. But I've watched for amazing people, and watching your following. I think you've got how much of a following do you have
on TikTok? I actually have only recently. I'm up to about 36, not quite 37. I haven't checked, but it blew up. It blew up over the last week, because 9 days before the royal Queen, before the British Queen, the royal passed away, I actually made a video announcing that she's going to abdicate because I live in the Commonwealth. I will live in a Commonwealth country. You've got to be careful about what you say when it comes to royalty.
100%.
So, yeah, so I was very careful about what I said, and I said she's going to abdicate, and I'm pretty sure what I saw was she's due to her health or her old age, could have been both, and she's going to make a big announcement. And when it all happened, everyone's like, "Oh, you were right," and I said, "Well, the big announcement was goodbye, wasn't it?" That was her announcement. See ya, I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, the world it was doing the announcement as well when you think about it. So it was a big announcement. Wow, and that's a big one, isn't it? And so
that was a big one.
What do you do for leisure? What do you do to step back from the psychic realm?
This is going to sound very bizarre to some people. Okay, so I love to go because I'm fortunate enough to live quite close to the beach because I live on a place called the Gold Coast. You know.
And that's in Sydney, Australia. In Australia, sorry, isn't it? Just so
that's in Australia. Yeah, so I live on the Gold Coast up in Queensland on southeast, and so I'm very fortunate to live there. I like to go to the beach, and I use that water to sort of replenish, to ground, just to refill my cup. And it's not for anything other than just soaking in the water. I like to go hiking. I like to go visiting waterfalls. I do like to mow my own lawn. I like mowing my lawn. That's actually something that I enjoy doing. I also enjoy the odd video game here and there, only because it makes me present.
Yeah, you got to focus in that one.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing that I've learned is if I'm not doing something that is drawing my attention to the present moment, I think too much, because if anybody knows anything about psychics or mediums or intuitives, we're very much overthinkers. We overanalyze a lot, and we see things, and then our mind starts playing tricks on us, and we start overthinking and more and more and more. So if I just don't worry about it, just ground, just focus on the now.
And I can understand why you'd say that, because I know myself, well, these days not so much, but in my younger years, I used to really overanalyze purely so I wouldn't make a mistake. And it's funny because when you're in the flow, you don't make a mistake. You just share what's coming through. And but I love the way you ground, and I love the way you do that. And I think we all need to, any other psychics out there with me and essentially coming into the field, it's a good thing to remember that, to ground and to, come into that space, to create that beautiful sacred space for yourself as well while you doing your work. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. What do you love about the psychic field?
What do I love about it? I love that, for me, I can, not just psychic, I suppose psychic, the clairvoyance, the mediumship, all of it. I love the ability to be able to provide someone with some sort of closure or comfort or guidance or just any type of help where they may feel stagnant, they may feel stuck. And the way I viewed it is I became the person that I needed when I was younger. So if I'm the person that I needed, there's surely going to be someone out there who needs someone like who I needed.
Yeah, no, I totally understand you. Now, on that note, just a question for you. Are you open to doing a reading potentially today? Just maybe one reading?
Yeah. I can, if there's an opportunity that someone would like a reading, I can definitely give it a go. It's funny because there is a message that needed to be said for, I think it's like a greater collective. And this is going to probably resonate with a lot of people. And I was told to make sure that this gets delivered because love, for some reason, seems to be the biggest subject on everybody's mind across the globe. And the biggest misconception of love is that it's not something that you get from outside. It's something that you get from inside. You have to love yourself unconditionally first. Okay, when you hear the psychologists and all that say, "Oh, you can't love anybody else until you love yourself." Well, there's a degree of truth to that. But what the misconception is that love is not the goal. Don't go chasing love. Find it within yourself first. Understand that you are love. You are the one that creates it. You are love. And then when you are healed from all of the trauma that you went through, all of the experiences that you went through, and you can absolutely, unequivocally say that I love myself unconditionally. There is nothing that anyone can say or do that can affect this vessel. You will be rewarded with love.
That's true. Wow.
Love is the reward.
What a lovely message to give out to everybody all around the world. I love that. Thank you so much. Now, I think we are going to get a caller in.
Yeah.
Happening. But in the meantime, we'll keep chatting anyway because I love chatting, as you know. And I'm really so happy today. Thank you so much, because I think
my pleasure.
If the rest of the world sees that we've got some amazing talent here in Australia as well, and and to finish the show, I will ask you to find you like that.
Yep.
And at the moment, I believe that we've got such beautiful energy going on, and there's a lot of what I would call light workers like ourselves that are doing amazing work. And I think when we can share it in like the most simplistic way for our audience to know how it works and why it works and why we love it and what, I think that makes for a better world and what we love. So,
yeah.
So, here we go. We've got Joanna in Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, yeah.
So,
yeah, hi.
Hi. I got a hi.
Hi, hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you, Joanna?
I'm doing okay. Good to talk to you.
Yeah, good to talk to you too. I was actually in Indiana. I was in Albany, Indiana around, I want to say April 20th, around that time, around April 20th, April 21st. I was in Albany in Indiana.
Oh, I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I got to visit some place called Mike's Lounge. It was actually pretty good. I did karaoke. It was great. Okay, so normally people would probably. When I say normally, look, I don't really know what normal is, but I know that sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, what are you interested in? What is it that you're after?" I kind of feel as though you are looking at a general overview of what may come up, whether I do a card reading or whether I just do an intuitive energetic reading, okay? But I'm also aware that love is kind of something that sits in the back of your mind, or career could be something that sits in the back of your mind. But I do feel like it's a general thing. Now, I don't know whether this is connected to you, but before we went to air, I saw something to do with a person in a farming area that was in front of, like, it looked like either one or two big silos. Do you have any connection? I just want to establish whether it was you that had not come on yet, or whether it's somebody else, and I just need to put it aside.
It could be. It very well could be.
Okay. So what I saw was, it looked like a golden colored field, okay, a golden colored grass, or like a straw hay, something like that. And there looked like a quite a large silo on that property. And it looked like it was, that rusty color, that color of, the color of rust, but it was more of a browny burgundy, like, that's what I keep seeing. Now,
I see. I don't know if that would directly relate to the person that I'm talking about, or not talking about, but thinking about.
Yep.
He lives out in the country, but not necessarily on that property. It might have been a property that I would see driving out to it, but I can't specifically recall.
That's okay. That's all right. So what I saw was this person was actually a child of some kind, like like whether they were between 8 and teenage years. But I can see them on the field. So
then no, it wouldn't be me. I don't have any children in my life right now.
That's okay. That's all right. That's totally okay. It's funny because this is a male. It's not a female. So I don't think that this is. I actually don't think this is you directly. I don't think this is connected to any of, if you have any children or no children. I actually think this is someone else, and it's a male. And they're on. It's funny. It's funny that I say this because it doesn't actually feel like Indiana. It actually feels like Ohio or some like farming, real popular farming area. And I'm sure that person will probably come through.
It might be someone else you're meant to talk to tonight.
Yeah. That's okay though. That's all right. All in good time. They'll find me when they're meant to find me.
Yeah.
So, Joanna, what message do we have for Joanna that she needs to hear today?
A general reading sounds great. I do have something on the back of my mind, 2 separate subjects on the back of my mind, so I'm interested to see what comes up in the reading.
Yep. Okay. This one is the one that I'm unsure about. Okay. Only because of the way it was sitting. Okay. You are being told to focus. Okay. Don't let yourself get distracted. You're being told to focus. All right. When you communicate with a vision in mind. You're being told to actually step up and be the leader. Stop actually don't sell yourself short. You're being told to step up and be the leader. Okay. So whether that's in your professional life, I kind of feel like it is in your professional life. You do have a vision. You are to some degree intuitive. Use that intuition and be the leader that you were born to be. Okay. And don't feel like you can't ask somebody for a little bit of advice or help. Now, that was the King of Wands. Okay. What I want to talk to you about is why the Chariot is sideways. You are expecting some sort of movement, but I kind of feel like you actually don't know how to start that movement. You're feeling a little bit stuck, and you just don't know how to get there. You don't know which foot to put forward. You don't know whether it's the right move or whether it's the wrong move. I think it's because you're procrastinating. Okay. Use that brilliant mind that you have. Use that brilliant diplomatic professional brain that you have. Speak up. If you feel that that you're being stationary or unable to move and travel or get to where you need to go, is because of somebody else standing in the way. Speak up. Speak with confidence. Okay. Remember that creative advice, that advice that you can get from someone, you will get it, and they're going to give you probably more of an impartial view. Okay, they will be impartial. They'll probably tell you something that you don't want to hear, but they'll probably tell you something that you do want to hear at the same time. So they will give you the advice that you need. When it comes to the person, are you chatting to someone? Are you talking to someone? Like we use those old terms, seeing somebody. Are you talking to someone that could be a potential partner?
No, I'm not. No. There are people interested trying to talk to me, but I haven't been able to talk back because I just back in the spring ended a pretty big relationship. And haven't been able to move on from that yet.
Yeah, that's actually where I was kind of going to go with that. The person who I was sort of like feeling like you may have been talking to, because there's one person who is going to try and, I suppose what I'm feeling is he's going to push. He's going to, he's not going to stop. He's interested, but you're not ready. Whatever it is that you have gone through, you're going to need time, and time for you is not linear, but you need to do the work. Okay. Not like a broken bone where you do nothing and it takes 6 to 8 weeks. This is different. This is, you need to do the work and it takes as long as it takes. and you will know when you are ready. You'll feel a little bit different, and people will probably say, "Oh, wow, you're looking a lot brighter now. You know, you're looking really, really good. You know, bubbly, bright, shining." And you will have to use that. Like I said, your brilliant mind. You just need to use that to balance your emotional, okay, and your mental. And remember that you have a foot in both camps: spiritual, practical. It's okay to be in both camps. All right, but you definitely need to take some time for yourself. Absolutely. I don't think that you are ready to. From what I feel, I don't think that you're ready to be out there. I think you need to do some healing from the emotional side of what happened, and the separation, the breakup, definitely.
Thanks, darling. Really,
yeah, definitely. Anyone in my realm right now is I can tell they're not the right one, and I'm also not the right match for whoever my match is. So I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, very smart. Well, I hope it does work out for you, and I actually do see it working out for you. I just think that it's going to take some time. I do see you being patient. There's going to be a moment where you're going to go, will it happen? Come on, like I feel like I'm ready. It'll happen when it happens. Just trust that. All right, just trust that.
That was all.
Okay. I'm wondering if. Well, never mind.
Just keep in mind. And catch up with Tarot Daddy on sorry, we only have a little bit of time left on the show, unfortunately. It goes so quickly. But thank you so much for calling in, sweetheart, and thank you for tuning into the show. And Ramsey, wow, Tarot Daddy, that was a great reading. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope it resonated with her. And if you do, if anybody wants to find me, connect with me, you can find me on social media. It's Tarot Daddy. I'm on TikTok. You'll see my videos on YouTube. I do have a Facebook page, and I do have a website, tarotdaddyau.com. So yeah, I'm available. And yeah, you know how to find me.
Wonderful. And, just so the audience know, as I mentioned earlier, we do work together with here in Australia on Psychic TV.
Psychic TV. Yeah, you will find Psychic TV Australia as well. Yeah.
We can always be found, which is lovely. And look, honestly, I can't thank you enough for your time and energy today. And, I think the audience will love to connect with you. And I love when they tune in. It's just great to them. And the message of love was a powerful message. And I think moving forward, everyone can take that with them and know that we're all in it together, and we're all going to make a difference to this beautiful world in the future. So we've got not much to go. But for those of you who tune in later, please remember, Tarot Daddy is anywhere and everywhere on social media, but TikTok and all those things. I've got a TikTok thing, but I just don't know how to use it. So I just do what I know. That might be my age too. So I want to thank everyone, and especially our one producer, for his amazing work behind the scenes. He's always making sure our show works out beautifully. And I want to thank you personally, Ramsey, Shelley, and Tarot Daddy, as Tarot Daddy, for coming on the show and really bringing a beautiful sense of love and light into the group today, into Soul Talk. So, and I'm sure we'll be on again another time. And the read was great and wonderful. So before we finish this up, as always, I always love to say, remember, have a beautiful day, everybody, wherever you are in the world. Stay positive, stay upbeat, and be true to your own soul. On that note, I will send my namaste to you until next week, same time, same station, and look forward to connecting with you all. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and for all the people in Australia, have a wonderful weekend. I think we've all had a bit of fun. And Tarot Daddy, I wish you all success and look forward to seeing you in the future with other things that we're doing. And thank you again for your time and energy, and thank you all around the world for your time and energy. It's a beautiful, hope it is a beautiful day where you are. But as always, namaste, everybody. Be safe, be happy, and next week I'll make sure I've got a better microphone.